begin our look at sports on the NBA hardwood, where the New York Knicks have some drama going on, just not on the floor, but rather in the front office and with personnel on it. But first, we turn back to Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden. Knicks riding a 4-game win streak, hosting the defending champion Cleveland Cavaliers. The highly anticipated matchup wasn't much of a matchup after all. LeBron James scored 25 points. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love also surpassed 20, and the Cavs crushed the Knicks 126-94. We go inside the locker room for more.
Obviously, we shoot the ball extremely well from the perimeter, but the ball was moving, and that's a byproduct of it. But I think our defense, we were locked in with a game plan, and we executed that.
You know, being a hard three-quarter on Carmelo and come from the baseline side and travel them, and our bigs and our guards did a great job. Even when they went small, our guards did a good job of coming there, helping, and then we scrambled out and was able to rotate and get out to shooters.
I just really never take this opportunity for granted, to be in the Mecca. You know, growing up in Jersey and always having my friends and family here and being able to, you know, play the game I love at an extremely high level. You know, they just love basketball here, especially in the tri-state area. You know, they die for their Knicks, and for me to be a Cleveland Cavalier coming in and playing on the home floor of the Knicks, it's always a great opportunity. So, you know, you always want to leave here with a win. I've been on both sides, you know, of getting kicked here, and then as well as, you know, on the winning side. So for me, I just want to be consistent in my effort when I come here, you know, try to do whatever it takes to win for my team.
I got to ask LeBron about the flip the water bottle fun he and his teammates had going on at the end of the rout, but LBJ was pretty serious in the post-game presser, perhaps shying away from questions about not staying in Trump hotels and his recent feud with Phil Jackson over comments he made about James's posse in an interview. New York, which had won 9 of 12 coming in, had little energy in the second night of a back-to-back. Carmelo Anthony looked sluggish, finishing with 8 points on 4 shots. He and Jackson made some headlines this week, as I alluded to earlier, with the drama off the court when Jackson said Melo is a bit of a ball hog and stopper within the offense. Looks like Jackson has had enough of Melo, and the same on the other end. Knicks will be in Sacramento tonight. That game gets rolling at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. The Nets pulled one out Wednesday night. Brook Lopez scored 24 points. Sean Kilpatrick had 22, and the BK held off Denver for a 116-111 final. The Nets will be in San Antonio Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tip-off there. The baseball winter meetings wrapped up Thursday with some notable moves, including Boston acquiring left-handed ace Chris Sale from the Chicago White Sox, in a move that had Yankee GM Brian Cashman calling the Red Sox a super team like the NBA's Golden State Warriors. And, of course, the Bronx Bombers finishing off the week by inking closer Aroldis Chapman for a hefty 5-year, $86 million deal. Chapman returns to the Yankees after leading the Cubs to the World Series title. He spent a half season in the Bronx and was terrific. He is only the second free agent reliever since 1990 to get a 5-year deal. Yanks are going in for 1 year on Matt Holliday. The Bronx Bombers finalized a $13 million one-year contract Wednesday, the first major league contract New York agreed to with a free agent since the 2014-15 season. On the NFL gridiron, Monday Night Football was a nightmare for the New York Jets. The Indianapolis Colts creamed the Jets 41-10. Here's more.
You know, this is a character-building season, and you know, it's one of those seasons when each man have to look himself in the eye and ask himself, what type of player do you want to be? What type of man do you want to be? And you know, you go from there. So sports, especially football, teaches you so many life lessons. It matures you, or it kicks you out. And you know, I think that's why so many of our men are leading in so many areas outside of football. So hopefully, you know, each man in his locker room is learning a lesson so they can grow as a man and also as a player.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know everybody in it is going to continue to work hard, you know, so it's not really my place to say. We're just going to keep working in all cylinders.
I mean, I think Bryce did pretty good. I don't know. We got beat pretty bad tonight.
Guys got to play harder. But we're not going to point the finger. Like I said, we all play like shit. We could have played better. And, I mean, coming out primetime football playing like that it's not up to our standards on all 3 phases. Like, all 3 phases could have played better, definitely. And but this one, we got to definitely put it behind us quickly because we got a quick turnaround and we got to go out to the West Coast and play San Fran. So just got to get ready for the 49ers.
I feel bad for the Jets. The Jets are seemingly headed toward a high draft pick. They will be in San Francisco Sunday, and Bryce Petty will be under center for Gang Green. That game kicks at 4:05 Eastern Time. Jets will be without standout center Nick Mangold, who has battled injury. His bum ankle may need surgery. He has 1 year left on his contract with a $9.1 million cap charge. Clearly, his future is up in the air. He's been placed on injured reserve, a move that could mean he's done with the Jets. Funeral arrangements have been scheduled for former NFL player Joe McKnight, who was fatally shot last week during a road rage dispute in suburban New Orleans. Police have taken in the man that killed the former Jet. The Giants let me down last Sunday in Pittsburgh. Maybe they don't deserve the respect I was calling for. They lost 24-14 to the Steelers. Nonetheless, as I mentioned last Friday, despite taking them to win, the G-Men are a hard-to-understand bunch. I suspect they could do the near impossible and defeat Dallas Sunday night at MetLife Stadium. They are still the only team to topple the Cowboys this season. Since Eli Manning burned the Cowboys in the opener of the season, the Giants, for the most part, have found ways to win without relying on their offense. The trouble for me in this matchup is the absence of defensive stalwart Jason Pierre-Paul, who had surgery for a sports hernia this week and will be out indefinitely. Boys, Giants, Sunday night at MetLife, 8:30 p.m. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Formula One champion Nico Rosberg, won it all, and now he's calling it quits. Riding off into the sunset to be with his family, he has retired from F1. He's only 31 years old. Mercedes has posted a vacancy ad for a driver in Motorsport magazine. Pretty funny. I have applied. No applications needed for the MLS MVP. It goes to New York City's David Villa. He won the award Tuesday. In his second season in the MLS, Villa scored 23 goals, one off the league lead, in helping NYCFC finish second in the Eastern Conference and qualify for the playoffs for the first time. College football fans, another big weekend on the gridiron. The Heisman Trophy presentation is Saturday night, and Times Square will be there. And earlier in the day, you can watch the 117th edition of the Army-Navy game. On Monday, Army displayed World War II themed uniforms the Black Knights will wear against Navy on Saturday. Tuesday, Navy did the same. With President-elect Donald Trump in attendance, the midshipmen will put their 14-game winning streak on the line by channeling one of the best Navy teams of all time, the 1963 squad. That team was led by Heisman winner Roger Staubach. That game was also one of the most memorable, with former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy insisting, amid talk of canceling, that the contest go on following the assassination of President JFK. Navy won that fabled game 21-15. Speaking of Knights, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on Wednesday denied the Vegas Golden Knights trademark, citing a likelihood of confusion with the Golden Knights of the College of St. Rose in Albany. The Vegas Golden Knights will be the new NHL team. It's possible that name won't stick. You should scoop up all the merchandise you can. Should be a collectible. On the ice, the Rangers will be in Chicago tonight, and the Islanders will be in Columbus on Saturday night. UFC President Dana White has revealed that star fighter Ronda Rousey is in sick shape as she prepares for a bout against women's bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes, set for UFC 207 on December 30th. Meanwhile, UFC star Conor McGregor, taking a break from fighting, is set to appear in popular television series Game of Thrones. He'll be an awesome villain. He already is in the UFC. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list and go from villains to real American heroes. When you are in the business of sports, it's easy to often call our favorite superstars heroes, and to some degree they are, but with the same token, although they can be role models, the truth of the matter is the real American heroes are the ones that pay the ultimate sacrifice every day. At least that's what I prescribe to. Sports is entertainment, but it often incorporates what is going on in society. You can see that now with Colin Kaepernick and the protests during the national anthem around the country. I wanted to note true American hero John Glenn in the C-list this morning. This past week was the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. I think it's important for us to always remember how blessed we are to enjoy such simple things like sports. And it's because of the men and women that protect us every day. John Glenn is at the top of that list. His 1962 flight as the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth made him an all-American hero and propelled him into a long career in the U.S. Senate. He passed away Thursday at 95 years old, the last survivor of the original Mercury 7 astronauts. Glenn died at the James Center Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, where he was hospitalized for more than a week. Before he gained fame orbiting the world, he was a fighter pilot in 2 wars and a test pilot. He set a transcontinental speed record and later served 24 years in the Senate for Ohio. For me, I thought it was pretty cool that he returned to space in the shuttle Discovery at age 77, a cosmic victory lap that he relished and turned into a teachable moment about growing old. By the way, he holds the record for the oldest person in space. These are the kind of American heroes that should grace the cover of Time magazine. Godspeed, John Glenn. I'm Bobby C. Stay with us. More Open after this.